Good morning, and welcome back to Beijing.
Another beautiful day here, or well, not really, it's a bit rainy today.
It's really dreary. Yesterday we had 35 degrees Celsius weather. Today it has been cut in half and they've added rain to the mix. But this lovely building right behind us is a national center of the performing arts, and we are on our way to the Forbidden City. But we've been on our way to the Forbidden City for a while and we're still looking for it. We found one entrance, but that was too crowded. So we're trying to walk around.
5,000 Chinese people queuing to get to the Tiananmen Square, which we decided to skip for now.
The real question is, we have to enter the Forbidden City by 11:30 because our ticket only lets us in the morning. It is currently 11. There is no sight of the Forbidden City. Will we make it, or will we get caught in a thunderstorm? Mission unsuccessful. We've managed to find an equally massive queue.
Yep.
I think every Chinese person in Beijing is trying to visit the lost city. The lost city. It's not lost city. Forbidden city today.
Behind us you can see the wall of the Forbidden City, so we're closing on the entrance. Unfortunately, there's a few thousand Chinese people in front of us.
You can't even see the entrance yet, so it should be interesting.
Let's hope we make it in time.
Yeah. Things are really getting moving here. We're even walking. And now we're stopping.
You jinxed it.
I totally jinxed it.
For sure.
But apparently the gate where we are entering, the Meridian Gate, is a gate that in times when the Forbidden City was still used by the Emperor was reserved only to the Emperor. Everyone else, servants, civilians, everybody had to pass through other gates. So we're basically royalty now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, it's getting cozy. Personal space is non-existent here. If you come here, just don't bring a bag, and that's the queue you get to go to. That looks a lot more peaceful. So we made it through security. We were like literally packed in like sardines in a can. If I would have fallen asleep in that exact spot, I would have managed to stay upright because people were pushing to me from all sides. Anyway, moving on. That was only the security checkpoint. Now we have to get to the ticket booth, to the place where you have to show them your ticket because you can't buy tickets here on the spot. You have to book it in advance. We don't have to get there by 11:30, but we do have to get there by 12. And as you can see, so yeah, that should be interesting. Hoping we can, really hoping we can get in today. It's been a challenge so far. Oh, that is massive. This place is massive. By some miracle, we still got in. They weren't refusing any people at the entrance. I didn't expect to still be able to visit today, but look at that. I mean, it is huge, and it's all in such excellent state. I think this is going to be good. So the Forbidden City is the largest temple complex in the world, probably also one of the busiest, because it only allows in a certain number of visitors per day.
80,000 people to be exact.
But that number is 80,000. So those were the people you saw when we were queuing.
Yep.
But fortunately it's massive, so
it's a
you
really
don't feel
massive
too
complex with loads of temples and palaces.
This is the gallery on top of the Meridian Gate. On
It's
this
really
side,
impressive. Such a beautiful building. All these like small intricate details, blue, gold, red. The inside is very beautiful. It was like a bit too dark to film inside, so we didn't film it.
look at the paneling.
Like,
Look around us. So crazy. Look how high that wall is. Those are people. And you can even walk across the wall here of the Forbidden City.
it's an 8-meter defensive wall, and then there's also a moat down there, which is I think 50 meters wide.
Yeah.
So I think it was well protected.
And it's crazy to think that this used to be completely off limits to normal civilians.
Which is why it's called the Forbidden City.
The Forbidden City. If you would come here uninvited, you would get
beheaded.
Beheaded.
There was a
pretty
punishment
fast.
for entering the Forbidden City.
Actually, you couldn't even get to the Forbidden City as a normal person in that day, because outside the walls of the Forbidden City was the ringed wall of the Imperial City, which also was off limits to normal folk. So you couldn't even get in here. Now to think that we're walking where the emperors of China once did.
For a few euros.
For a few euros, yeah. It's quite a good deal to have yourself a palace for like half a day.
When the emperor entered somewhere, people had to touch the ground 9 times with their foreheads, known as kowtowing. It was a sign of respect for the emperor. So anytime he entered somewhere, people would go get on the floor and hit their, not really hit their heads.
Please demonstrate.
No. Oh, great Emperor Kim.
Wrong country, wrong country.
What do you think? It's time to check out the Great Hall?
Yeah, should be great.
The entrance through the Great Hall is guarded by 2 lions, one female, one male. The female lion has her paw on top of a baby lion, which signifies the fertility of the emperor. On the eastern side, you have the male lion who has his paw on top of a globe, which signifies the influence the emperor has on the world.
Palace complex, there are over 300 copper and brass water vats, just like this one right behind me. I think I could actually fit into that. You would think it served as a hot tub. That's what I would expect from the imperial family. If I had some money, I had some friends, I had some time and no one watching me, I'd use that baby as a hot tub. But they were actually filled with water and used to prevent or put out fires. And in the winter they would cover it with like a very thick kilt to keep it from freezing. But please follow me. I will show you how big it is. Oh yeah. Just imagine a small glass of champagne or whatever it is the emperor's drank back. Ooh, there's an echo in here. Hello! I am a hot tub. Echoes from time. We've been walking around here for a good 3 hours now.
It's just so massive. It just keeps coming.
It is incredible. I mean,
We've just now passed the 2 main halls and there's a 3rd main hall. One of the, how are they called again?
the Hall of
Hall of Great Harmony?
Hall of
Supreme. The Hall of Supreme Harmony, Middle Harmony and something else harmony. Really impressive, but all these palaces on the sides and on the front, it's really, really cool.
Because you would think, you know, look at the one behind us. Oh, it's
Really
so
cool.
beautiful. Anyway, you would think you just enter Forbidden City and then you see this massive courtyard, and that's. I was not allowed to be in the shot. So you would think that you enter the Forbidden City and you see this massive courtyard and around it are the palaces and that's it. That's not it. Then you walk through one of those palaces and behind that is a second courtyard and behind that is another courtyard. And we're now on the 4th courtyard and there are still buildings behind it, more buildings behind it, and then behind that there's even more. So, I mean, I think at some point we're just gonna have to cut this short because we're so hungry. I'm starting to get really hungry.
We left at 10 o'clock. We thought, well, okay, let's go to the Forbidden City, then have lunch. Now it's already
It's 3 p.m.
past 3 p.m. We still haven't finished it yet. So I think we're going to do the rest of the city a bit quicker and then go for lunch.
It's incredible though. It's really, really beautiful.
Wow.
On our way to look for the exit, we came across this beautiful old place, which is completely different from the rest where we've been. I mean, look at the rock formations and look at the greenery and the gardens.
It's really impressive. This is called the Imperial Garden. It's more than 12,000 square meters big.
Oh god, no more walking. We were looking for the exit.
It was built in the 15th century by the Ming Dynasty. Finally, we found the exit.
At least you think that's the exit, but
We
man,
hope so.
what a place.
It's so impressive. This is, I think, by far the most beautiful man-made structure I've ever seen.
Ever.
Yeah.
And it's so well preserved, and it's hundreds of years old. I mean, it's 600 years old.
Yeah, it's
Something
more than
like
600 years old. It's really massive. I think you could easily spend 2 full days here. Now we spend like 3 hours here.
Yeah, and we can't even really like go inside and look at the exhibitions because you only see some Chinese Mandarin explanations, which we obviously can't read because we can't read the sign language.
Yeah.
But
even in those 3 hours, it feels like we only scratched the surface.
Yeah.
We didn't even really explore like the side temples or the palaces on that side, the gardens that are on the outside, so all those things.
If you have half a day, you'll be able to get a good feel for the place, but you'll still feel like you could come back to see more.
Yeah, next time I'm definitely coming back.
With the colors and just the way it's laid out, it's incredible. Yeah.
All right, it's time for some late lunch.
Please tell me that this is going to be the exit. As incredible as that was, it was the exit, by the way.
Yes.
Completely beat because we switched from hotel to hostel this morning and we haven't been able to check our bags in yet. So we're carrying all our camera stuff and 2 pretty heavy laptops.
Yep.
So completely wiped out. Gonna look for some lunch now and show you some real good Chinese food.
Time for food.
I thought you said time for poo. I really thought you said time for poo. Not food. Food.
We just came to this food yard. They have all those kind of different foods. They have dumplings, they have noodles, they have meat, they have pretty much everything. We ordered what looks like a radioactive drink. I don't know what it is. We also ordered some noodles and some dumplings, which we're going to try out for the first time here. So. Looks weird to Chernobyl.
On the menu they had this delicious looking lemonade. But that's not what this is. It's not really delicious, but it's a drink, so we'll be fine, we'll manage. I took a noodle-based dish with some vegetables, some soybean, and then this thick brown sauce. I'm not really sure what it is. I'm gonna give it a go. Yes, it's really working out with the chopsticks here. So this lady just saw me eating it with the noodles and she came out apparently I'm doing it wrong. I have to mix all of it. She's helping me. Second round, I'm gonna try again. By the way, it's that's how you say thank you in Mandarin. It's better.
How does it taste?
It's pretty good. There's like some soy in it. There's no meat. It tastes a little bit like a more creamy version of Marmite, if that makes any sense. It's pretty good, but I can't tell you what's in there because it's completely different spices from what we use at home. Sometimes with the chopsticks it's so hard.
I just received my pork dumplings. Very famous from southern China, near Hong Kong in those areas. Really famous for that. I got 2 different sauces with them. Don't know what it is. Probably one's going to be very spicy. It's not bad, but the meat on the inside is very soft and a bit fluffy, but it's a bit blanded. Maybe could have used a bit more spices. The sauce is based on vinegar, which I really don't like. I hate vinegar. Let's try the other sauce. It's spicy. The other sauce is pretty good. It's also very, very spicy. Luckily, I've got some radioactive lemonade. I think that was it for today. We were planning on doing maybe a bit more today and visit Tiananmen Square as well. But seeing the lines, it takes more than 1 hour getting in there. So I think we're just going to call it a day because I'm really knackered. I need some rest.
So tired, yeah, so tired. But we had a really good time.
Oh yeah, it was so cool. So cool. Highly recommend going there.
Yeah, we do. And if you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see very noisy ATMs. So hit the subscribe button if you want to see the next video. There will be decent Chinese food in the next video because Chinese food is so good. We had some really good food here already. That really wasn't such a great meal. So we're gonna show you good food in the next one. See you in the next one. Bye.